What is up, everybody? Welcome back to High School Never Ends, a pop punk dad podcast. I am Wingman Steve.
And I'm Christopher 183.
Hi, Christopher. It is kind of my favorite month. It's my birthday month. It's May. It's not movie May this year. We didn't do that. Maybe we'll do that again at some point. But we're right in the middle of High School Never Ends, Kills It Live, where we discuss live albums. And boy, you're in for a treat today, listener. We have quite the album to discuss, Chris, don't we?
How can somebody be so excited and so pumped, but so tired at the same time?
Are you talking about me or you?
Anybody. Us.
Yeah. I went East Coast to West Coast back to East Coast. I've been catching up. You've been traveling. At least I'm back to sleeping properly. But luckily for us, we only have a 35 track album to go through today. So easy task.
It felt like 35 albums. And I don't want to say that I love Real Big Fish. I really do. But it felt like 35 whole albums we had to listen to.
Yeah. Tell the people what you said the name. Tell the people the album that we're doing.
Yeah, it's appropriate if you think about Real Big Fish and the songs that they have and what they sing about. It's pretty clever. So the album is Our Live Album is Better Than Your Live Album. And I love that. I think that that's part of the charm of Real Big Fish is they say things like that. The song titles, such as I Want Your Girlfriend to Be My Girlfriend Too. Everything Sucks, like that sort of thing. Like it's just them. And so this title is very appropriate and hit the mark for probably what they wanted to do. And I think me and Steve will talk about if their live album is better than your live album. I guess we'll have some commentary.
I don't personally have a live album, so their live album is definitely better than my lack of a live album. And I'm glad that we didn't call our monthly theme here, Our Live Album Podcast is Better Than Your Live Album Podcast. That would have been a bitch for the graphics. So I'm glad that we just went with Kills It Live. But so this is a live Real Big Fish album. It's a double album if you were to have purchased it on disc. It's a double album that came with a live DVD. I didn't watch that on YouTube because this is available on Spotify, so I listened to it. But listen, they are very clever. They're very silly, but they're smart. So the album title makes a whole lot of sense. And I've seen Real Big Fish. I counted them 7 times. You've seen them live, yes?
No, I have not. All right, I was very upset the one time I had the opportunity to see them and nobody told me.
Oh no, that is not cool. But you'll get to experience it, and anybody else who's never seen them or just wants to hear them live can experience it on this double disc 35 track record. And it was a little bit of a slog to like go through and like make notes for all these songs, because one thing that I noticed is just kind of looking into this album. So it came out in 2006. It was recorded over several shows in Orange County at a venue called The Alley. That's what it says. But essentially it was performed over multiple shows. It's not a single show. Does that affect your opinion of what we listen to?
No, it doesn't. I mean, look, in terms of going to a show and being there for 2.5 hours listening to Real Big Fish, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Maybe it wasn't a 2.5 hour show. Maybe it was like just a compilation of multiple shows. Right. And it was, as what we're saying. That's exactly what it was. Correct. Well, I don't know if like the set list was all from it was recorded over several shows. So I would assume, this was such a long thing. I don't know. Well, he does mention 45 minutes to an hour. So I gotta feel like, some bands do play that long, maybe not quite 2.5 hours, but maybe they do. But it's different if we're there. It's different if you're in the moment. There's the good thing about Real Big Fish songs is that they're so much fun, and even if it's up tempo or mid tempo, they're easy to sing. And if you have any nostalgia with them, I think that you don't get bored at any point in time throughout something like that. 2.5 hours is tough to stand through, But I think if you're moving and you're having a good time, it's not a big deal.
Well, we know that you do not skank, so you would not be skanking.
I wouldn't.
One could skank during Real Big Fish.
And the fun thing about Real Big Fish is they do the ska, but they also have a harder edge to them, and they mix it up with different things like that. So it's not just all one thing. Now, when you compare that against just listening to it, though, like if you're just going to straight up say, like, how about listening to this album? That's a lot. It's a lot to sit there and listen to 2.5 hours of music. And I would imagine that because it's a double disc, that potentially, that's not the way people ingested the music. Maybe it was one and then the other. I don't know.
Yeah, I think listening to this, especially on streaming services, it's probably best to split it up, not to do it all at once. But listen, if you have some time to spare and you want to get the feel of a Real Big Fish show, I will say that this album perfectly encapsulates what a Real Big Fish show feels like and sounds like. These guys are witty, they're quick. There's a lot of banter. There's a lot of, insults and silliness, and that's what they do. You can tell by their music in general. You can tell by their banter. You can tell just by their songs. And it's great to have that exact, live essence on a record. So, yeah. Yeah.
Plus, you get a little bit of something from each of the albums prior to this coming out. So. They they take songs from all of the albums that come out before this, which are We're Not Happy Till You're Not Happy, Cheer Up, Why Do They Rock So Hard, my personal favorite, Turn the Radio Off, and I don't know if they do anything from Everything Sucks.
Yeah, there's one or two, but a lot of the songs from Everything Sucks were repeated on Turn the Radio Off, so there's a couple that like fit that mold.
So yeah, but I was more talking about like exclusive songs to that album.
Yeah, that I'm not 100% sure. And we get some cover songs which they have been known to record and do live, so we get a handful of those in there as well. So it's quite the trip down the discography up until this point in 2006, which for me is the best part of the discography, in my personal opinion.
And we'll have some final comments when we go through it. I do have some just wrap up comments about this and how I feel about the album itself.
Are we ready to wrap up?
We're not. No, I think that maybe we want to talk about the songs and then we'll get into the wrap up. Unless there's any other stats or anything else you'd like to say prior to getting into it?
No, not really. Just want to give a shout out to our patrons, Dr. Bernie, Steve Kelly, Steve C, Nick, Chris W, Sam, Jason, Ashley, Tom, Jeff, Punk Rock Mom, Punkish Dad, Punkish Dad's Friend, and Chris P. Thank you guys for subscribing. Give you your shout out. And let's get into our live album is better than your live album.
And let's start this out by saying this is a ska band. And I do agree with that.
Yeah, they're a ska band. Sure, absolutely. Mm-hmm. And they have horns, lots of horns.
They do. They have them all, but they use them well. So you kick things off, guys, with a track by the title of Trendy. And so this is going to be off of Turn the Radio Off. It's the second song off that album. It's really interesting that I usually would, back in the day when I was first getting into Real Big Fish, I would skip this one because
really,
it's like I didn't love that everybody's doing the fish. Yeah, like I was like maybe because I really like Sell Out, and then it was kind of like I don't want to listen to anything else. I just want to listen to Sell Out. It was before I really got into this band. Maybe like at the very beginning. So I would skip the song all the time, but I have no idea why. That was not the best decision because this song rules. It rocks. It has some great energy. This is an amazing track that sets the stage for Real Big Fish. It has all the quirky lyrics that the songs do that they deliver. And it's a classic album that it comes from. I just think it makes sense to be an opener. Yes, they probably could have gone with something a little bit stronger. In terms of maybe just general recognition, but I have no problem with starting it this way, Steve.
I don't have any problem with it either. I think this is perfect in terms of general recognition. The record starts off, you can kind of hear the crowd going, Real Big Fish, hey, Real Big Fish, hey. And you don't hear a ton of crowd interaction. The first couple albums, live albums that we did, we heard way more. Aaron does not like kick it over to the crowd and like let them sing pretty much at all throughout this entire thing. It's him. I think kicking it off with this song is fantastic. You know, everybody's doing the fish. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're introducing themselves to us. It's a super catchy, super popular track. The horns sound great on the recording. The vocals come through nice and clean. I think they may have been adjusted afterwards. I read something about that. The one line where they say "one of us" comes through way clearer live than on the album. Like on the album, to me, it just sounds like "ba-da-bup, not like "one of us." So it sounds super clear when they play it live. And one thing you'll notice is that they have a lot of like background chatter, kind of that they just weave into the lyrics and in the background. And one thing that I kind of had a problem with a couple albums ago is you hear the harmonies very clearly, which is very important for me. And there's a lot of harmonies that Real Big Fish does, so it sounds great.
It almost feels like this one was touched up maybe a little bit more than some of the other ones. Like the quality here is great in terms of what we're hearing. So
the quality of the whole album is very good. Like probably better than they probably sound live. Not that they sound bad live, but it was probably punched up somehow.
For sure. All right. So keep it going, Steve.
Yeah, we're gonna go quick because again we got a lot of tracks to get through. But the next one is also an old one. It's called "Everything Sucks." You get a little bass and drum intro. You get Aaron kind of preaching to the crowd a little bit, telling them that everyone here has their shit together, and you all have your shit together, and let's get ready to dance. They kind of do a little fourth wall breakdown. The drummer is waiting for us to begin. I might have to say that the horns sound great for every song. I don't know. The horns sound great. Am I going to say that the harmonies sound great every song? I don't know. I guess we'll see. I'll probably try not to repeat myself, but I feel like Aaron gives us just the right amount of the same sound and lyrics from their album and a little bit of variance. And again, they start this theme here of, second song in and we're already kicking the crowd's ass. We're kicking the shit out of their asses. This silly juvenile banter it's just funny. It's fun. So you get a very perfect sense of every single Real Big Fish show from hearing what happens in this track.
It is funny. It is fun. I agree with that. And I don't even know if it's juvenile. I think that's funny right now.
Yeah.
So, kicking the shit out of their asses.
We're kicking the shit out of their asses.
I laughed at that. Like I never heard this one before. Like, I never heard this album before. So this banter's new to me. These songs are not.
I think I got this digitally or something right when it came out. I don't know that I had the physical media, but I definitely have this album.
See, that's where me and you were different because I told you, like, I never committed to buying. I literally bought nothing digitally. Like I stopped buying stuff.
I only bought some things digitally. It had to be important.
Everything Sucks. You said most of it, guys. I mean, so this is from Turn the Radio Off. So we got 2 in a row from that album to kick things off. Love Everything Sucks. It's so Real Big Fish. These lyrics. You said it. The performance was spot on. It's got to be such a great live song, guys. Like I would really like to see this one, to be honest with you. And he did open a circle pit, or he said he opened a circle. So I imagine that is the circle pit.
It's kind of at Real Big Fish shows, it's more of a skank circle. I don't know if that's an actual term, but basically everybody just kind of skanks and twirls, moves around in a circle together. It's not like that mosh pit. It's not a mosh pit where people are like kind of bumping and jumping into each other, and sometimes there's elbows and things flailing. It's more of a dance circle pit, a skanking pit.
Awful.
It's fun. I've been in those.
I would never. That would make me cringe. Oof.
The thing is, like, anybody can kind of skank. Like, you don't really have to be able to dance. You just have to like be able to like kind of move like one leg after another. You could be like Elaine from Seinfeld, and you could just get away with skanking.
I'd rather stand there staring at the band with no expression.
That's your thing, because you're the bad guy.
I am the bad guy. So we got this next song. It's The Bad Guy. And look, guys, I'm not as nostalgic about "We're Not Happy Till You're Not Happy." Did you listen to this album a lot, Steve, when it was out?
A lot, not really. So my general opinion, and I think I had this in a note later, but since you asked, I'll just bust into it. This is the album where essentially it kind of went from every song on the album and the entire album is like fucking awesome to like this album has a handful of really good songs and the rest are like okay, they're not bad, but this was maybe the first one, and definitely after this one it was all right. Like I'm not into this entire thing, but when you look at Turn the Radio Off, Why Do They Rock So Hard, Cheer Up, like that trio is hard to beat, especially if you talk about ska. I don't have three consecutive albums from another band that I would say I like better than that anywhere near.
This one fell off my radar completely. So after Cheer Up, I'm not sure I heard anything. Yeah, some of these songs do sound familiar though, so maybe I heard them somewhere somehow. But this one here, it's maybe somewhat of a slower tempo, but I think at this point in the song, like we started things off just on fire. I think you can slow down the tempo just a little bit. It's still a fun song. It still has a workable chorus. Still a good time, and the message here is fairly again it's on brand for them. So I don't really know if there's anything else that stuck out to me.
Yeah, this is fine here in the number 3 spot because whether or not all of these songs were at the same show or, it was just, it was still a lot of songs for a show. So like, third, you play 2 big ones that are old, you play one that's off of the most recently released album. It makes sense. This is not one of my top Real Big Fish songs, but it is still fun. I like, they kind of have this like breakdown and this tempo shift like halfway through it. But I do that slow down tempo part. Like I like the top and the bottom better than that middle part. It's not one of their strongest songs, but it's perfectly fine here. Again, we're going to have a lot more songs to come, and they're probably promoting their newest album, which makes sense with this song.
They mix it up, though. They really do. They don't just... There are some parts of this show, and again, since it's different shows, I guess we don't really know, but there's blocks of albums, and I think later on they do a block of this particular album. So I don't know if it's on purpose or just the way it's recorded, but it happens.
Yeah, there are some blocks. Sure. So the next track is just a track. It's called Maximum Swearing. It's an audio track. It's not a musical track. To me, the one thing that stands out here is I chuckle every time they say, "Hello, everybody. We're the Real Big Fish." When they put because the name is Real Big Fish, but they go, "We're the Real Big Fish. We're the Real Big Fish. Hello." And they just keep saying the Real Big Fish. It just makes me, I don't know, it makes me smirk. I don't know.
It's a delivery. They have a great delivery every single time.
Yeah. And basically this is just the dudes swearing, just like they titled this track here. Shits and fucks and shits and asses, and he does deliver one funny line. He goes, "You only have to suffer through like 40 minutes, and then this is going to be the best show you've ever seen." So a little self-deprecation, a little sarcasm. It's funny. I like this stuff. This is akin to us listening to Blink banter on Mark, Tom, and Travis show.
Keep it going.
All right. Nothing else for Maximum Swearing. I covered it.
How you covered shit, fuck, shit, fuck.
Shit, fuck, and asses. Asses. We'll kick the shits out of your asses. So the next song is Ban the Tube Top. This is from Cheer Up. This, in my opinion, is one of the absolute best Real Big Fish songs that does not get a lot of appreciation, in my opinion. I don't think that anybody really talks about it or whatever because it's silly, but it's actually really clever. It's insanely catchy. It's a song about hating the tube top. Beautiful girl, ugly shirt. You are a fashion red alert. Like I'm in. I love everything about the song. And to me, nothing like stood out about this performance. It kind of sounded like it's supposed to sound. And I love this. Even in this spot is good. This is the first Cheer Up song we get.
Oh, it's such an infectious melody. Like I could sing this anywhere.
Dun,
the
dun,
verse
dun,
and the chorus is so good. Ban the Tube Top is so funny to me. Like this came out of left field when I saw this on the album list track when I got Cheer Up. It's gotta be top 5 for me in terms of Real Big Fish songs.
We did do that ranking at one point in time, but I don't have that off the top of my head.
I don't remember what that was, but arguably, like, just if you ask me today, I may even bump it up to top 3. I love this song so much. It's just yeah, and again, it's a great live track. I think that I would go berserk, when this come on. I might even sway back and forth a little bit. I might even take a video of them doing this one.
Wow. Okay. We're gonna bust out the phone. We might smile and we might sway. This is big for
It's
us.
so good. It's so good. Band the Tube Top. If you haven't listened to this song, go listen to it live. It doesn't matter, or on the album. It's just such a good track.
Agreed.
All right, so then we get into She's Famous Now, and this one again. This is off my favorite Real Big Fish album. Why Do They Rock So Hard? Another one, ladies and gentlemen, if you've never listened to this track or any of the tracks on this album, go do that, please, because you're missing out. Even if you like Real Big Fish just a little bit, you're going to love this. She's Famous Now is a great, amazing track. It has one of the best openings of any Real Big Fish song on this track. They mentioned Gwen Stefani is the centerpiece for what they're talking about. I doubt that's real, but it's funny anyway.
It may be.
It's
from the research I did. He did date Gwen Stefani at one point.
So there you go. Maybe. So he dated her before Gavin Rossdale.
Before she was famous, apparently, titularly.
Interesting. And then he ends it with that shit was bananas. That was really funny, by the way. So every part of the song is good. I have nothing bad to say about this one.
Oh boy, you took like 2/3 of the things I was going to say. Gwen Stefani thing. I actually liked it when the first in the beginning, the guy says, but I apologize. I say the guy because I wasn't watching it. It could be any of the band members, but the one guy who does banter a bit, he goes, that shit is bananas. And then at the end, he goes, that shit was bananas. And yeah, hilarious. I totally agree with you. The entire album, Why Do They Rock So Hard, is so good. It's full of singles. Like there's just, even if they're not singles, there's so many songs on that album that could be the best song on Why Do They Rock So Hard, including this one. This has a guitar solo that really slaps. You can hear that live. And the drum sections after she was just so sweet, or whatever it is. The drums are really good here. And I just love that line, she's like me, just not as ugly. This is a great track, and first song from Why Do They Rock So Hard fits in perfectly. Fantastic.
The one line I never really knew was because on the album I never knew what he was talking about, but it's I eat the mussel, she eats the leaves, I think it is, or something like that.
I don't know what that is. I just go eat the mussel, and she ate the wicked. Like it sounds like eats the weekend, but that doesn't make sense.
I think what they're saying is I eat fatty foods and she eats salads. I mean, that's got to be what they're saying, right?
Yeah, the next line is high cholesterol and heart disease, so he's just poking fun at himself, I suppose.
Yeah, correct. So,
but I don't know what that lyric is. I didn't look it up in advance, but I honestly just do, if I'm singing along, I just say like I don't know what it is.
Okay, well now I have to say it because Spotify, it's I eat the mussel and she eats the leaves. High cholesterol and heart disease.
Huh. I never in a million years would have guessed that's the line. But
do you trust Spotify lyrics?
Yeah, I trust it enough.
Then there you go.
Yeah.
But I never knew.
All right. Me neither. We've learned something new today, Chris 183. All right. We are now back to the We Are Not Happy Till You're Not Happy album, and we have the song Drinkin'. Drinkin'. Real Big Fish knows how to make songs about drinking, including this one. Of those drinking songs, this one is not the best, but I think it's still pretty awesome. That's also a song coming later. It's called Awesome. But it's perfectly fine here. I like the songs about drinking.
Yeah, I agree. How would you not have a blast with this one at a live show? I mean, at a live show or any other like public event where you might be partaking in some alcoholic beverages. This is great. It's not as good as beer, but it's still really good. Like I'd play them back to back. I think that would be a great time.
I think when I used to make my beer pong mix CDs, yes, both of those songs were on there.
Absolutely. And next up, we got a cover, Boys Don't Cry by The Cure. I love the way that Real Big Fish does their covers. I probably have only heard a handful of them. Obviously, the one is the most popular that we'll talk about here in a couple songs. But this was great. You know, "Boys Don't Cry" is a song most of us have heard, I'm sure. This just put that ska edge to it, and these guys rocked it out. It just it was really good. It was on point in terms of like the music and everything. Like it sounded like it was the melody of "Boys Don't Cry," just a ska version of it. And I really like. And I'm sorry if I'm stealing your thunder, Steve, but at the end of the song, when they finish it with "Boys Don't Cry," except for Scott, he's a sissy.
Scott's a dork. That's one that's missing off here, but that's okay.
It is. It is.
I don't particularly care too much about this original that's by The Cure, but I do dig the Real Big Fish version. And actually, the one line that I thought you were going to say was, "Oh, wow, a ska punk version of an 80s song. How original." And
right.
I thought that was pretty funny. So I like that there. And I like their version here. They're good at doing cover songs. They add their own flair to it. And I guess 80s songs are easily coverable for ska bands, I suppose.
They make it look easy.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so next one is "I Want Your Girlfriend to Be My Girlfriend Too." You mentioned this one earlier as they make funny type songs. This one's off "Why Do They Rock So Hard." There's a pretty perfect transition into this song. This is a classic example of Real Big Fish being silly, but also being serious and endearing. I kind of felt like the choruses were a little slower than I was used to, maybe from the album version. Maybe it's just a little nuance, but the guitar solo was a huge highlight for sure on this one. And this is a great song.
You mean the "I Want Your Girlfriend to Be My"?
Yeah, it felt like it was just a little slower in this. I mean, I haven't listened to the album version in a minute, but it just felt like it was a little slower on that chorus.
Got it. I didn't pick that up. I thought it was pretty straight by the books. Maybe if I listened to it again, I'd hear it. But this song is an amazing entrance. Like as soon as, or like it's a horn/guitar intro. It's one of my favorites. Again, I'm probably going to be super biased towards "Why Do They Rock So Hard" songs, but love this track. Always love singing this one. It was so much fun, and this would lend again perfectly to a live performance. I'm driving myself deeper and deeper into a major depression from not being able to hear them live in my lifetime, Steve. That has to end eventually.
Well, the good news is, not to get ahead of ourselves, but Real Big Fish has been on quite a hiatus for several years, and they did announce that they are coming back. They're playing 2 or 3 of the Warped Tour dates this year. So I don't know if that will be part of a new tour or their own tour, but I have my fingers crossed, because if so, and it's near me or you, like, I would definitely go again.
You want to go to Orlando?
I don't think they're playing Long Beach. Maybe, or yeah, I think Orlando, Long Beach, and maybe one other one, maybe Mexico City. But
okay, we'll talk.
Okay.
We'll talk. All right. So what do we got next here? We got "Dateless Losers." This is off of "Cheer Up." This goes to why I think "Cheer Up" is generally underrated. Do you feel that way?
I think that it does not get a lot of praise. Is that the same thing?
I think that's correct.
Then yes.
Well, that means that I think it's better than what people say, and I think a lot of people agree with me. I think this is a song that, and again, just thinking about the live version, but the song itself, like this one has, I mean, it's an awesome, it's a chorus about people that don't get dates, like, and it's fun. Again, the melody is spot on here. You love to sing it. It has an amazing hook too. Like the hook in the song, there's just a musical hook that is an earworm, and then a really great guitar solo too. So I'm all over this song. I think it's fun. I think it's funny again, and the music's on point, and they do it live very well. So I'm into this one.
Yeah, I think the whole pace of the song is very cool. I even if you think "Cheer Up" is an overlooked album, I think this song is overlooked on that album. It's a fast song, but it's got this slow down part. It's Friday, no phone call, nobody asked us out. So it's the slow down and speed up multiple times. There's a section in here live that I don't think it's on the album where they're like, don't want us, don't need us. I don't know if I'm singing that at the right pace, but it seemed like there was something extra here. And one thing about this live album, I kind of mentioned it and I was thinking it as I took my notes, is that up to this point, you don't hear any crowd interaction at all. Like you hear some cheering, but like they don't have the crowd sing any choruses or anything like that. So, it's their show. It's their show. They're not like putting the microphone into the audience and letting you sing the chorus or anything.
I also wonder though if that was mixed out a little bit, if they mixed some of it out,
or maybe for the live album, they just didn't want to have that. They're just like, we're not doing this.
I don't know. Potentially.
I can't remember those 7 shows I saw, if I was, prompted to sing along or not. The last one was a while ago. It was 2015 last time I saw these guys.
They're too busy, skanking,
skanking,
just
baby.
Doing this, and I'm skanking. You can't see me, but I'm skanking.
Chris is pantomiming skanking with his arms, not legs.
Well, I'm sitting, so I can't.
All right, next one is the setup off Why Do They Rock So Hard? I like how they start the song off asking each other, like, what is this song about anyway? And I got to tell you, I don't really care one way or the other because this is another one from that album that is just incredible. Like, this could be the best song on that album. The harmonies leading up to and including that chorus are great. Aaron sings kind of low. I'm not sure who the other singer is, but they go high. The horn section is some of their best. You don't notice it until you hear it or see them live, but their guitar work is also really tight. And, some more silly banter to end the song, too. This was a great one live.
This is, and you want me, and I want you to. Is that this one?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. And, it's funny. If you go to the Why Do They Rock So Hard album, this one has a parentheses. It's you need this,
right?
Yeah. So, I would pop for this one. This one would definitely get my applause at the beginning as soon as it would start. I'm sure that if they didn't mix out the crowd, that we would have heard it. But I love this here, and it's too bad that we don't get like an actual. And okay, take it back. Like I like to hear all the Real Big Fish songs. Okay, fine. But if we can get just a representation of what a real show would be, I'd kind of like to know what the progression would be and where this song would fit. Probably somewhere, because if we're looking at it, like this is about how many songs in now? 11. So I don't know how many songs that what's the average number of songs that a band would have on their set list? 15, 16?
I think a band of this caliber and length of their career, they probably get a good 20 something. 20. I'm going to take a look. Last time I saw them, what the set list was.
So this would be like halfway through, basically.
Essentially, it could be, yeah.
And that would make sense because you want to rejuvenate the crowd with something they can get into, and I think that's perfect for this.
So their last tour before they finished in 2020, they were doing 20 songs.
All right. So you were spot on.
And this one wasn't even on there.
This was not on there?
Nah.
Oh, my God. All right. Well, we can move forward then. Once again, Somebody Hates Me. I really don't know, what more I could say about what album this is off of. Again, off of Why Do They Rock So Hard? Ladies and gentlemen, there's not a bad song on this album. This is one of them. This is the intro track. It grabs you from the first note. Again, I think they just kill it. And it sounds pretty close to... I didn't hear much difference between, the album version and this, other than, maybe a couple twinges of it being live, but I was spot on and I really enjoyed it. Steve?
Yeah, this one is kind of very pick it up ska. This one did, I believe, start off the album. It's a super fun song about being hated and hating somebody. The one difference between the album version and this live version is that the trombones, I'm pretty sure it's trombones, they go a little nutty towards the end. They start with this, like they start doing all this crazy stuff, but it still sounds like really good. The only thing is at the very end, they don't do that last somebody like you. you. They just kind of like end the song. And then they give us some chatter about fucking versus fucking. So, some more Real Big Fish nonsense in there. But great track.
Sure.
All right. Valerie is next. The way that this song starts off with those rolling drums just sounds awesome. Again, Cheer Up doesn't get a ton of accolades, but it should. The bass really shines on this one. This one's just a little bit reggae, and it's a great song. I love it.
Well, you ruined my life. You were never my friend, and now all I can hope is that I never see you again.
It's so sweet. It's a
sweet.
love song.
They're very, listen, if there's one thing the Real Big Fish is, they're very honest and they're very straightforward with how they feel. So I don't know if I have much more to add, Steve. I think that you said it all on this one.
They're the Real Big Fish. Thank you.
They are. And so let me get this, got to be ready with my notes here. The next one up is Talking About a Revolution. I thought this would be, for some reason I was like, is this a cover? But it's not. I forget what album this is off. Is this off of the one the one I'm least familiar with here?
Yeah, We're Not Happy Till You're Not Happy.
Yeah. So I just, my notes here is, it's a pretty sweet reggae song. And that's pretty much all I got out of it, is it's just a reggae song.
That was their note. They said, this is a sweet reggae jam.
Maybe that's what I agreed with them. And that was what I thought.
Yeah, it may be a sweet reggae jam, but I don't particularly need to hear this one live. This is a grab a beer, go to the bathroom time for me. It's a little too Bob Marley, which is not a bad thing or anything. It's just not my thing. It's not what I need to hear, Real Big Fish. They definitely do. Again, this isn't a cover, but there are other songs. If I was making a set list, I probably would have got this one out of there and went with something else. But again, they were likely promoting the most recent album, so they probably have to put in a handful of songs from that one. And they chose this.
Right. And then you follow it up with the next one.
Yeah. So they go into beer, turn the radio off. I mean, there are times where they've played this song multiple times per night. Like they only play it once here, or at least that's how the recording comes out. It's a staple. Within this show, there's great banter in the beginning. He goes, last time we were here, it was like having sex with a dead body. But this time, it's like having sex with an unconscious body. And then he goes, right before they kick in with the classic intro, he goes, I hate this song and I hate all of you. Just kidding. I don't hate this song. Like, it's just fucking with the crowd big time. This is a college beer pong song for me. I will listen to this anytime it comes on. It is the top Real Big Fish song about drinking and or alcoholic beverages. It's the guitar line. It's the woo woo woo. It's the whole package. And then they do add some fun shit in here, which they repeat throughout the show, or at least for a couple songs. On the guitar, our guitar player. On the drums, our drummer. Like, we don't need to say their name. So I think this was a standout in terms of the live performance.
Sure. Definitely. And you knew it would be. I mean, I think we all knew that it would be. They just think this song is another level. This is not, I think it is a college beer pong song. It's a 40-something beer pong song. It's I still listen to it today song. This song is timeless for me. And to be able to hear this live will be one of my goals in life. So hopefully I can realize that.
I hope so.
But they really crush it here. And they crush it again on the next track, which is the cover that most of you probably are very familiar with, and that's Take On Me. I'm not sure if this is this on one of their mainline albums, or is this,
I don't believe so. I think isn't this off Basketball? I think so. Yeah.
Which is why I bought the Basketball soundtrack, to be honest with you. And this is okay. So I did write down the note, and on the drums, our drummer, but that was from the one before.
It might have been in middle. I don't know when the official was, but
the only note I have here is that it's pretty album perfect. Like it just sounds like a recorded version of the song. So, that's fine. They do a good job.
Yeah. And I think we talked about this back when we did the Basketball episode. It's an awesome cover, record or live, whatever it is. Cheesy 80s songs translate perfectly to ska covers. He's able to hit the high note in a day or two. Like he's able to hit the high note, and he also hits the low notes. Take on me. And they end it with "Thank you, we're the Real Big Fish." So I'm happy all around. This is a cover that I would leave in the set for sure. I think they probably always do it. I don't know. I'm looking at the most recent one from 6 years ago, and they did do that as well. They did this, and they did "Brown Eyed Girl" with the two covers.
Have you ever tried to sing "Take on Me" like the real version?
Never.
Yourself?
Never.
Never?
No, I would not.
Not even tried, like in the car by yourself? Come on.
Well, maybe not in public.
Those are high notes that you and I probably cannot hit.
I agree. I don't think I could hit that one.
So maybe someday, but not today.
Okay.
Yeah. How about this next song? Yeah, you please, because this is a song.
Yeah. SR is how they call it. Do they call it SR and turn the radio off, or is it actually called Suburban Rhythm?
I believe it's SR. I'll look at it again. So it's SR.
Yeah. So this song and what they do on this live album is a classic Real Big Fish bit. I've seen it personally live. I like the setup. He goes, they sing the actual song, which is kind of short. He goes, "That's a bad song. How can we make this song kick more ass?" And then they turn this into a 9-minute long bit. What if the song was punk rock, bluesy, disco, country, garage rock like the Strokes, old school rap, death metal, sensitive, tender emo song? And I gotta tell you, I really enjoy it. I think it's fun to see live. I think that it's fun to listen to on the record. If you were really into listening to this record over and over and over, like I could see maybe skipping this because like you kind of only need to hear it once or twice. But some of these versions are very good. I like the disco version. The country one is pretty funny. The one where they sound like the Strokes, they do sound like the Strokes. I think I like the death metal one the least, and the emo song one was funnier than it was good. But this is a way to take a song that probably nobody gave a shit about and make people really enjoy it.
I kind of gave a shit about it. They took a song that was 1 minute and 24 seconds and made it a song that was 9+ minutes. That's phenomenal that they did this. And one thing that I will admit to all of you out there, and I generally don't want to admit this kind of thing, but I did not know what the lyrics were for this one. I thought he was saying, "Why did Eden Scott quit?" And I know that Eden isn't really a name, but stranger things have happened. People have odd names sometimes. And I thought maybe that was the lead singer of a band. Little did I know that it was Ed and Scott. So I just found that out not too long ago. And that makes a lot more sense. And I didn't know that I never put 2 and 2 together with Suburban Rhythm. I didn't realize what it was. And I didn't really connect it with the title of this song. So a lot of dots have been connected for me on this one. Suburban Rhythm being the band. And I guess it was it was a ska band, I believe. From my research anyway. I don't know how popular or unpopular they were, but
weren't some of the members in Real Big Fish? Or no?
I don't.
They just played with them?
No, if that's the truth. I'm not sure.
I think why did Ed and Scott quit? There is a Scott.
I don't. So in the research that I did, it says that it's not the same Scott.
Okay.
But I can't verify that. So, but
I trust your research. Sounds like you did it.
I did, because this one was fascinating to me, and yeah. So that's it. I just talked for like 3-4 minutes on this, but I thought that it was brilliant. So I was all in.
Brilliant. They kicked our asses.
Yes. All right. So "Kiss Me Deadly," another Real Big Fish cover. I mean, we've already really talked about covers here. And Oh, who sings "Kiss Me Deadly"? It's the
Lita Ford.
Is that Lita Ford?
I never even knew this was a cover, dude. I had no.
You didn't
clue.
know this was a cover?
I had no idea. This sounds like a real Big Fish song.
No, it's a cover. I've heard "Kiss Me Deadly" many, many, many times.
I don't doubt you, but I never heard it. And from listening to Cheer Up, I always thought this was their song.
Unless it's not a cover.
No, it is. It is. I looked it up.
Yeah, but I don't. It's the same thing I said before. Like they do covers. They could do covers. This band, like I feel like you could probably give them a lot. I don't want to say any song, but you could give them any number of songs, and they would just turn it into something that would be amazing in their style, in that ska style. Make it funny. Like they just know how to do those things. So I was cool with this one.
Yeah, apparently this is a bonus track off of Cheer Up, so it was probably at the end. I think the song is pretty good. I just never knew it was a cover. I like in this version, he goes, Johnny Christmas on trumpet, check out the way he blows. Nice silly banter. And that's kind of all I got on this one.
Do you think Christmas is his real last name?
I kind of don't think so.
I'm sure there's people out there with Christmas as the last name, right?
Should we do a quick search of the Googles?
I think so. Well, like I could think of Lloyd Christmas, but that's another character.
That's false. Well, there's a Johnny Christmas who is an American retired lacrosse player.
There you go.
That's not him. Real Big Fish. I have to put that at the end. John Christensen, a.k.a. Johnny Christmas.
Okay, I get it. So it's not, but there is a gentleman with the last name Christmas, though, who's playing lacrosse.
Retired, but yes.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So is this might be the little block you were talking about? Well, no, it's only 2 songs from Cheer Up. Okay. So much for rock and roll. I gotta say, doing this exercise and like taking notes, like at this point, I'm like, holy shit, this album has so many tracks. We're on 19. Like maybe it didn't really have to be a double album. I don't know. I also don't think the song really needed to make the cut. I think that this is just an album track. Maybe just because it's funny with the line, "You are such an asshole." They thought it would hit, but if there's anything I'm skipping, this is probably one of them.
I agree with what you said.
You are such an asshole. Sorry.
I have so much for R&R written down too.
So much for R&R. There you go.
I think that the only other note that I had here is that this could be, we could probably feel different about this one if we were watching it live. I think it would be much better, like a much better experience listening to this one. Especially during the part where it's everybody jump. I think that would be a lot of fun. So
sure. Okay.
Might be it. Next up, we have the 90s. This is not a song. It's just an intro.
It's just some
talk
banter.
about we wrote this song in the 90s, and I guess they're talking about the next song.
Well, the one thing I like is that somebody shouts out in the crowd for them to play Sellout, and he goes, "We can't play Sellout until the end. It's our big hit. Shut up."
Yeah, right.
I had a moderately successful single. Don't yell at me.
But
they play well off each other.
She has a girlfriend now, so this is Turn the Radio Off. I vividly remember this track. I don't want to say this was any kind of single or anything, right? This was just a good song off the album. But it does have a female singer. So the female voice, I imagine, was live at that show.
Yes, her name was Rachel Minton.
Was Rachel Minton on the actual album recording too? Because why do I feel like I remember there being a female voice on this track?
There is, but it was the lead singer of Save Ferris originally.
Got it. Okay.
Monique Barrett.
Mm-hmm. Hey, look, I remember turning this song on and singing along to it. So this was a favorite for me. I think that the fact that they brought a female voice in to sing that part was pretty cool. That added to the experience. And even though, again, this is, kind of bringing the tempo down just a little bit, it's still, that has no bearing on the fact that this is a great song, and the crowd definitely got into it. So And then, it has that mid tempo, but it goes into that fast paced ending. So you have a little bit of both.
Yeah, I totally agree. So it was not a single. The only single from Turn the Radio Off was Sellout. But I feel like if you got into Real Big Fish in the mid late 90s, like you thought this was like this to me was it wasn't as big as Sellout, right? Because people outside of the world know Sellout. But I feel like Trendy and Beer and She Has a Girlfriend Now all were just staples to any person who listened to that album, and it was always just one that stood out. Right? They set this up. We can make a slightly humorous song about mediocre pain and sex between two ladies, and it can happen to you too if you follow your dreams. It's a huge track. It might be one of my favorite ska riffs ever. The female part, as you said, was fantastic. Rachel Minton, I looked her up. She didn't have any like significant accolades that I could really mention, but she sounded great. And then, yeah, the highlight of the song is that bridge. I'll shave my legs, I'll wear a bra, I'll even cut my penis off for you. And then it was probably Johnny Chris, someone who goes, I'd whack it right off. Like, they just have this good way of adding this stupid dick and fart humor into it that make it even better. And She Has a Girlfriend Now it's a great song. And, it's somewhat ahead of its time. When this came out in like 96 or so, ladies getting together was probably more of a taboo subject than it is now, but they kind of make light of it, and it's all good. Comparatively, he's just like, oh man, she stole my girlfriend. So this is a fantastic song. And
agreed.
It leads into another fantastic song, or kind of a combo of two songs, The Kids Don't Like It and In the Pit. Those are two separate tracks off of Why Do They Rock So Hard, and they're kind of smushed together here. It's funny. I noticed that they don't ever once in this entire 35 tracks mention the names of the albums where the songs came from, which is, it's just odd. Like, usually you say something about the album, or we just came out with a new album. I don't know. Maybe that was intentional because they didn't want to waste time with this live album, but they just say, here's a song. And again, anything off of Why Do They Rock So Hard is gonna be fantastic. The trumpet solo in The Kids Don't Like It is great. These aren't even back to back on that album. I had to go back and look. And there's definitely a word on this record that, or this album, or this live, whatever you call it, that they would not use today. They can't take that back, but I'm sure that they probably filter that out if they do it again now.
I don't know what that was.
I think it was a derogatory homosexual term.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not a term allowed to be used.
Gotcha. Yeah, I get it. Look, I love these songs though. Like, especially In the Pit. I always had a blast with that one, and even though I'm not necessarily a Pit person, it still was really fun. First of all, The Kids Don't Like It. Great song. I probably relate to this one now more so than I did, when this album came out, in the 90s, or would have been in the 90s. I just think the melody is just infectious in that song, and it's fun to sing. It has just the right tempo, so like all the components of an amazing track, and then you mush that in within the Pit. I think it was a great idea. I think they kind of flow right into each other. In the Pit would be a great live song as well. You get people, you could get people going. They can be in the pit. Maybe it even starts an actual pit.
Probably,
because you're not gonna fuck up shit in a skank pit, right?
Probably not.
So, he's not in my favorite line. It's gonna push some little girls tonight. That was.
Did he say I'm going to punch some little girls tonight?
It was either push or punch. I don't know. I'm not sure.
That's a funny line. Way. That's tongue in cheek.
It certainly is. So another standout here. Moving into the next one, which is The Fire. Wasn't as familiar with this one. This is off of We're Not Happy Till You're Not Happy. I just have no nostalgia with this one, Steve. So I think the only thing that I'd say positive about this one is live performance wise, I would still move to it. It has a nice rhythm. It doesn't have anything that I thought was not like doesn't have anything that I would think would be bad or boring. I just don't connect with it. How about you?
Yeah, I'm kind of the same. And this is where I was going to inject my note that I already said about how this album is like not full album awesomeness like the previous few, but an album with a handful of awesome songs. This song, somewhere kind of in the middle. Like, I don't think it's all that awesome, but I think it's just fine. And I would enjoy listening to it if I were there. But if we're looking at the full 35 tracks and saying which ones might I skip, like, I think this one's probably towards the top of that list.
Sure.
Next one is off of Cheer Up. A Little Doubt Goes a Long Way. They do have some crowd interaction on this one. They make the crowd repeat some shit, make some fucking noise. You know, I always like this song. It might just be the cadence of the lyrics with that upstroke, downstroke guitar or the silly falsetto, but I thought this one was pretty good in there. And it's not a song that I would say most people probably know.
Yeah, it's a fun little ska song. I like the line, "I gotta go before I do something stupid." I feel like I remember that. Was that on the album, that sound effect too?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, maybe it was a little less silly. I don't know. No, I think it's the same.
Listen, I haven't listened to Cheer Up in a long time. I just haven't, and that's stuck in my head somehow. It's like I remember that. That was great. So, yeah, I've been in probably back when this came out. You know, during college and immediately following. I'm sure I was in a lot of scenarios, Steve, where I said to myself, "I gotta go before I do something stupid," and I probably did.
Before I do something lame.
Mm-hmm. Well, stupid is dumb, but also lame.
Yeah.
Depends on how you see it. Yeah. So, is it you? I'll just say, like, the next one is just a skit. He's trying to be funny. Anything you got to say about this one?
No, he says something like, "We're going to play some less important songs now, not the ones that actually." Oh no, he says, "Let's start playing the important songs now, the ones that actually matter," which I find a little bit false. I think this last stretch of 8 or 9 songs is not the strongest stretch, but that's okay. He's just playing to the crowd.
All right. Take it into the next one then.
It's called Awesome, and this is off of We're Not Happy Till You're Not Happy. This one's kind of 80s hair metal mixed with punk and ska. It's very interesting. It's kind of a middle-of-the-road Real Big Fish song for me, but I do enjoy it. It's got that fun chorus, and, I use the word awesome, like, way too much. So I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, it had some like cooler, like harder metal stuff in it. And I did write the "You're Awesome" hook. I thought that was entertaining enough. So
I think this one on the album, it's actually like A-W-E.
It is.
It is, right?
It
yeah.
is.
On this, though, they just say the word.
Not as awesome, but
less
still
awesome.
Okay. Still okay. Yeah, up next, we still stay with We're Not Happy. And as I look at this more, by the way, I see maybe I thought there was more blocks than there was. Maybe the blocks are just like 2 song blocks. I don't know. But so we're Turn the Radio Off. I think the best part of the song is definitely the chorus. It definitely has a really good guitar interlude. I guess that's maybe towards the end. And I thought the end was pretty strong too. So, it's kind of sandwiched in there with a really strong chorus, a really strong ending, and it's threaded together with what I thought was a memorable guitar line.
It's super weird that they have a song called Turn the Radio Off. They have an album called Turn the Radio Off, yet the song Turn the Radio Off is not on the album Turn the Radio Off. It's from an album 10 plus years later. It's also funny that they stop the song and they start over when they're recording this live. I guess they thought that was a funny thing to do. The shouty beginning isn't really my favorite. The rest is kind of just fine. Like, it's all right. Not one of my favorites. But we get into now Where Have You Been? And this little cheer up 2 strong set is stretch is maybe this is a block you were thinking of. This is some good shit, man. This song has a really cool trombone intro that was not on the record to my knowledge. There's also like a trumpet breakdown with some banter in the middle. This is like I think it's like 6 minutes long, and this is probably one of the best songs on Cheer Up. I would say this one belongs towards the end of the set, and I guess we are kind of towards the end of the set, but I just love this one. I love that line. You say you need me more than anyone else. Well, go to hell. Where have you been? I think I did have some sort of personal experience where I was feeling some of the things that the protagonist in this song was singing about at one point in time. So I always related to this one, and I think this is a great track.
I agree. And I wrote down like this is the closest to maybe a regular. I say love song, but like song about relationships or love, like without it being so ridiculous and what they're saying, or just like so egregious in like calling people names or saying you're dumb or whatever the case is. Like they do that, but
no, it's real.
There's less of that. It's a little bit more of a real song.
You say you love me. Where have you been? Right. They broke up. The girl still loves him, but where's she been? What's she been doing? Kind of thing.
Correct. Yeah. It's not about, that girl then going off to find a girlfriend or getting rid of the tube top. None of those things.
Great song.
I don't think I ever really had a problem with tube tops, Steve. I don't know.
They don't really bother me one way or the other.
I don't think they're back in style, and they never did come back, right?
It's hard to know. We have teenage girls as daughters, and then we have our wives, and sometimes the styles that each of them are rocking could potentially be different. So I don't really know what the hell is in style.
True.
I wear the same shorts and a t-shirt every day.
You know what's coming back is bell bottoms.
Are they?
Yes.
Apple bottom jeans?
I don't think that's the same thing.
That was a question on Pop Culture Jeopardy, and I got it right.
Oh, really? Were you there?
No, I did apply to be on Pop Culture Jeopardy for season 1. And what happened was, like, you have to assemble a team of 3 people, and then you have to take this like little online quiz, and the online quiz is like 50 questions, and you only get like 10 seconds to answer each question, and they're fill in the blank, like it's not multiple choice or anything. And I just bombed that test because there are certain pop culture things I'm very good at. I'm good at sports. I'm good at movies. I'm good at music. I'm good at TV. But I am not good at Broadway. I am not good at Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings. And there were like a lot of those questions. Like Marvel, I'm good at. But there were a lot of those questions, and I just bombed that fucking test. So I didn't get on that show.
I should have been one of your 3 people on your team.
Maybe for season 3. It's now down to 2 people teams. So if we were to do it together, then for season 3, because season 2 is on Netflix now. They're not a sponsor. They're not paying us, but it's a fun watch. Colin Jost is the host, and I love Colin Jost. He's the funniest dude, and he's perfect for this. But we should name our team High School Never Ends and try and go on.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Where are we at here? I lost my place. So
did you talk about where have you been?
Yeah, no, I think the only thing I'll add to what you said is I really got into, there's a guitar distortion part. It's more of like, I don't know if I call it like bending of notes, but it's like the slower verse goes into this little interlude of music that's this guitar distortion. I really like that, and that comes back a couple more times. So yeah, I think I agree with you. I think this was a great song. I said my piece about it being like a regular love song or as close to it. I have a note about it being a long song, but that didn't matter. And then my final thing is how they say Dan kick its ass, and they do the drum solo. But that might actually be the next song, and I don't know if that's like the start of the next song or the end of this one.
Well, go into the next one.
Yeah. So, Good Thing. This is off of Cheer Up. You know what the weird thing is I didn't take a note on this one, so I wonder if I just was kind of stuck in what to say. I don't know.
This is another, I'll help you out. This is another top tier Cheer Up jam. There's not a whole lot, like, I don't know, they're very sarcastic and silly. There's not a whole lot of like positive messaging necessarily with Real Big Fish. And this one's got it. It's got a bluesy guitar. It's got very prominent trumpets, Crispin 83, like you. It's got great lyrics. It's really catchy. And I always really enjoyed this song. And I think the live rendition lived up to the hype of the album. I thought it was awesome.
You're saying that if I would have stuck with the trumpet more than 2 years, I might have been able to be in a ska band?
Anything's possible. Yes, of course.
I guess we'll never know.
All right. Well, Your Guts, I Hate 'Em is the next song off of We're Not Happy Till You're Not Happy. I don't think that this song belongs where it is in the set list. Like we are getting close to the end. This song is not the best, although I do hear people like kind of singing along from the crowd. Maybe that's just, again, the recent album kind of bias, but I don't really have too much. Like if they do that, let me take a quick look. I don't. Oh, they played this at their last set of shows. So I don't know. Maybe this is better than I thought it was.
What didn't you like? Just the music, or like anything in particular?
I don't know. There's just certain songs that stand out as Real Big Fish songs, and this one just it didn't hit me over the head.
I just think it's so funny. I don't know. I hate your guts, and I think you suck. I hate the way you look. You make me sick. I hate the way you talk. I want to punch you in the face.
I guess it is funnier maybe than I was. I got to, when we're making notes on a 35 track album, like sometimes you're running out of things, and I think I was in the airport or on a plane when I was making these notes. So maybe I just wasn't in the right headspace.
It's not even, it keeps going. I hate the way you talk. I want to punch you in the face. I can't stand you at all. You drive me insane. Why won't you go away? I wrote this song about you, and I think that's where they go into the
I hate your guts, and I think you suck.
Oh my God. See, that's just, to me, like, yeah, maybe the music here isn't the best of all time, and it's not as hooky or it's not as catchy, but it's certainly the lyrics just suck you. And these guys are brilliant. I said it a couple times, but I just think they are. So nothing. Next up, we got Nothing. Why didn't I write down where this is from?
This is from Turn the Radio Off. Old one.
Is it? Okay. So it says that they have a ton of F words in this song, and because I didn't necessarily remember this one because I hadn't listened to it in a while, my next note was, is that true? Is that a true thing? But it's true. Once you get to the best part of the song, they just go all in on the line, I don't fucking care. And they just go with it. They love, it's one of the best roller coaster rides with that phrase you could ever have. So what an ending.
Yeah, for me, this is more of like a throwback rather than a song that I like really like. Like I wouldn't like skip it, like kind of due to the nostalgia off of, Turn the Radio Off. But again, it's not one, if I was making like an ID, like a Real Big Fish 20 song set list of can't miss songs, I don't think I would have this one included, and definitely not this close to the end.
All right. Well, apparently you do care. I don't fucking care.
You don't fucking care anymore. So Best Band Ever is the next track. They're just talking about how fucking good they are, and they just have to stop the show to say how great they are, but it's just a little bit of banter. It's not an actual song. So unless you have anything else, I'll go into Don't Start a Band.
Go for it.
Yeah. So this is off We're Not Happy Till You're Not Happy. It's funny how they transition from saying how great they are into Don't Start a Band. He says that it's the most mean song that he's ever written. And then the other guy keeps saying, it's like Michael Jackson's Beat It. It's like Michael Jackson's Bad. It's like Michael Jackson's Pissed Off. So there's good banter in here. I actually do like this song a lot. I think it's very fourth wall-y. It's very catchy. And I enjoy Don't Start a Band. I think this is one of the better tracks off of We're Not Happy Till You're Not Happy.
It's clever. It's really just super clever the way that they kind of frame it up, and it's got to make some people out there that have bands feel a certain way. Like
they probably all agree with him because he's just basically said, like, listen, being in a band is tough. No matter where you are in your journey, if you're just trying to get local shows, or if you're trying to get that record contract, or if you got that record contract and then you got to record albums, or it's rough. So I don't mind them doing a song about how tough it is.
Yeah, well, that kind of leads us into not the main song, but kind of the lead into the main song, where they basically just thank everybody out there. It's a couple minutes, but what's kind of cool is the music behind it. They keep the music going. I think it's a song, but I can't place what it is. Just instrumental. I don't know if there's I only listened to it a couple times, so I can't really remember if there was anything specifically funny. I didn't write anything down.
There is.
But okay, go ahead.
So they call this track a fondue. He goes, it's finally time. We kicked all your asses. I want to thank the opening bands for playing, whoever they were. I don't really care. And then they just talk about more of their ass kicking stuff. But I thought that was really funny because, I mean, that's all tongue in cheek. I'm sure they are happy for the opening bands. But I thought it was funny where he goes, I want to thank the opening bands. I don't know who they were. I don't care.
Well, I mean, it's on brand. It's on brand with this band. And then, Steve, if you want to kick us off with this last one.
Yeah, so they already told us that they were going to save Sellout for the end. This is their big hit from the 90s. It's a little exhausting getting through this entire album in one shot, but if this was the full set list, they do keep the energy super high for this last song. Listen, it's always fun to hear Sellout, even if it's the big hit. It doesn't matter. I did feel like the performance was maybe like a half beat slower than normal for some reason, or I was just jet lagged and tired when I was making my notes. But Sellout is a super fun song. It's kind of the epitome of a popular ska track, and they will close every show with it, and I am totally here for it.
Yeah, I think you put it pretty. It's the big hit from the 90s. It's the right choice for this part. I mean, I don't know. Like, the only thing I was thinking in my head is, man, they could pick other stuff probably that I like better than this song. That could be this last spot. But for the sake of a live performance, it's not about what I like. It's just about what the right song is to kind of play them off. And for this band, Real Big Fish, it's got to be Sell Out. So it's the one everybody knows. It's the one everybody likes to sing along to. It was on MTV. It's probably what catapulted them into stardom. So it has to be. And I'm good with that.
It must be. And now is the time where you and I discuss, are there any songs that you can think of that should have been played in this epic set/album that were not played? Is there anything that makes you mad that it was not there?
Oh my God. This getting through this album was all the time I had, unfortunately. Let me see. So I think that, I don't know, man. They played a lot of great stuff off of Why Do They Rock So Hard? Maybe Scott's a Dork, you mentioned it, but I would have liked to have heard Big Star. I really like that one. I'm Cool is another good one, but I think Thank You for Not Moshing too is great. Let's see, Turn the Radio Off. I really don't know if anything else popped out to me on that one. So how about you? Do you have a long list?
No, I don't have a long list. I have a short list. One of them makes me a little bit upset. I would like to hear Down in Flames. I think Down in Flames is one of the best Real Big Fish songs. And I was sad that of this epic set list, it was not included there.
Sure.
I also love Brand New Song. off of those are both Why Do They Rock So Hard? You know,
Great song.
Those two, and I assume that they are trying to balance the albums that are represented, so they can't go too heavy on one or the other. But again, if I'm making this set list, I want to hear Down in Flames. I don't even know if they really play Brand New Song. It's just a song I love. And then I forget which album it's from, but Brand New Hero is another one that I think would translate really well to live. Maybe that one's Cheer Up. Do you remember?
Brand New Heroes, I believe it is. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, my categories.
The categories.
Yeah, those are the three that kind of stood out to me of the ones that maybe were missing.
It is.
Okay, so that's Cheer Up. And again, I'm a Why Do They Rock So Hard, Cheer Up. Like that's really my favorite two albums for sure. But I don't know how you don't play Down in Flames. That song is just way too good to not be on like any Real Big Fish set list. But I don't think that they have played it any time relatively recently, so it must not be one of their favorites. Maybe it's just one of mine.
You know the funny, like I didn't have Turn the Radio Off. That was one that my brother had gotten, and so that's why I focused most of my time listening to Why Do They Rock So Hard and then subsequently Cheer Up. But when I had the opportunity to take that from him and he didn't know, and I just kind of kept it. Turn the Radio Off is a great album too. Like there's so many good tracks off of that as well. So I don't want to undersell it. Like it's definitely a great album as well. Maybe I'm just not as familiar with it because I didn't listen to it so many times.
Sure. But, no, I get it. But
all right. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of songs that I probably would have to do an hour more research on thinking about that. But we can get back to that another time. Steve, talking about our favorites. Let's get into ranking it here. And if any of you have never listened to this show ever in your life, and this is the first time because you really love Real Big Fish and you want to hear about this live album that has 35 tracks on it and is 2 hours and change, that's fine. But what we do here is we rank our top 3 favorite songs in order, 3, 2, 1, with no honorable mentions. Steve, you're up.
No honorable mentions, even though we have 35 tracks.
I'm just reading the rules. I don't know. What do you want me to do? I'm just reading the rules as they stand.
Okay. I'll just follow the rules this time. Okay. Top 3 tracks off of our live album is Better Than Your Live Album. Number 3, I'm giving to Suburban Rhythm and the subsequent skit of them doing Suburban Rhythm in multiple different genres. Because if you've never seen this live, or even if you've seen it live once or twice, this is really fun to listen to, and I think it deserves to be in the top. Number 2, and there's so many tracks that could be here, but number 2, I've landed with Ban the Tube Top. I think Ban the Tube Top is, again, one of the most underappreciated, under-recognized Real Big Fish songs off of Cheer Up. And number 1, I'm going with Beer. Beer is one of my favorite Real Big Fish songs, and they did it great live here, right in the middle of the set. Perfect. It's all good.
Damn it. I hate this.
Why are you damning?
Because I hate it. I have a 3, but now I'm second guessing it. All right. So I'm just going to go with my original thing. So my number 3 is The Kids Don't Like It, The Pit. I think there's so much energy with that. And again, I'm taking it from a live performance angle too, not just me liking the song itself. So I think from an enjoyability factor, like The Kids Don't Like It, The Pit, that would be a great dual song, and I would get so into that. Number 2 is Beer, for all the reasons Steve said. Iconic. Imagine if you have a beer when the song comes on, makes it even better. Number 1, guys. Oh my God. Oh, I said it. It's Ban the Tube Top for me. Like something about that song, something about it.
It's kind of crazy that both of us have that song in our top 2s.
It's so good though. It's just so good.
It's just not one that people might think we would pick.
No, like She Has a Girlfriend Now, and like I wasn't going to put a cover in there. but I don't know. Like even I think. Look, listen. I might even put Dateless Losers if we did a top 5. It might be number 5. I'm not sure, but in any case, that's my top 3,
Wait a minute.
and we did it.
They didn't do Take on Me in this set?
They did.
They did. Did we talk about that?
We did.
Oh yeah, we did. Sorry, I was looking. Sorry,
we didn't spend a ton of time on it. We've talked about it before, and we talked about the basketball soundtrack.
That's right. It's coming back to me. Brain fart. Well, Chris, we did this, and we haven't talked a ton about Real Big Fish in the 6 years of our show. We did one episode where we kind of went through their entire discography, but we've never done like an album spotlight. This is the first one on this live record, and we got to cover multiple records. So essentially we're doing this thing where we blanket Real Big Fish into episodes, which is great. So maybe we'll take a moment at some point in time and do some real deep dives and some album spotlights. But I think this was super fun, and it's been almost 90 minutes, but we got through this relatively quick. It was kind of a daunting task because of how many tracks there were.
I thought the show was going to be 4 hours long, Steve.
We kept it moving, dude. We kept it moving.
We should have brought in like 3 guests with us.
My God. Like a marathon. We actually talked about potentially like splitting this into 2 episodes, but we got through it. It was all good.
It was fun. It would be fun to see them again. I gotta see this. I gotta see a portion of these live. I just do. So I'm gonna do everything I can to make that happen this summer to see this band. The only other thing that I'll mention is, and I said this at the beginning of the show, there was some analysis that I wanted to talk about here as we kind of wrap things up. Thinking about, this live album and the fact that, I may have come off as a little whiny in terms of how long it was and preparing for the show because it was 35 songs and 2 hours worth of things to listen to and take notes on, which again, we love to do that. So we would never complain. I would say that in terms of like what I want as a fan, this is okay because it gives me so much of this band from different albums that I can skip around and find a lot of the songs that I love sung live. So if it wasn't 35 or 2 discs, you'd have less of an opportunity to do that. It would just be a slimmer view. And to me, like, that's fine. But why not have the ability to listen to more songs live that are out there? So I'm all about them making the choice to do it like this and to have a 2-disc, 35-track, experience, because the more the better. And you don't always have to listen to it straight through. So I think that if you think about, the songs you want to listen to today, you skip through it, you listen to those. Maybe tomorrow you have a little bit more time, you can listen to more. That's up to you. It gives you the options. So I think it's a great album, and I should have bought it digitally, but I didn't because I wouldn't.
You could maybe get the physical media and you'd have the DVD. I do have a DVD of Real Big Fish live. It was called, there was a series of DVDs called The Show Must Go Off. I have one by Real Big Fish, I have one by Mest, and I have one by The Matches. And I'm kind of feeling like I want to go watch it like right now, but I'll probably go to bed after this.
You could certainly watch it tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe.
Well,
we're doing a Patreon episode tomorrow, so I got things to do.
Oh. Well, then the next day.
Yes.
Or the next day after that.
It's all good. I'll find some time.
There's a lot of days.
Are you coming to Philly next week?
2 weeks.
Oh, 2 weeks. Okay, so maybe I'll save it and you can come over and we'll watch it together.
All righty. Well, guys, we did it again. Hopefully you enjoyed this run through of the Real Big Fish live album. Our live album is better than your live album. If you haven't listened to it, go check it out. I definitely would recommend it. It's on Spotify. If you have to listen to it in chunks, then do that. But check it out, especially again if you're a Real Big Fish fan. If not, and you're just a maybe a sometimes fan, it still could be worth checking out too. And if you really enjoy the show, we have several different ways that you can let us know that. All of those ways can be encapsulated into a really nice review on Apple Podcasts if you have Apple. So if you have that, go give us a written review. You can let us know what you think about this show or just the show in general. that'd be awesome. But if you don't want to write anything, that's okay too. Just give us a 5-star review. It helps the show, and it makes me and Steve feel like we're doing something right.
Yeah.
Also, don't forget about our shop. We have some really cool stuff in there. Anything from fingerless gloves, which we never did get. Actually, we don't have that, but we do have hats and mugs, which are two staples for a lot of people. There's guys and girls that love to wear hats. I'm wearing one right now, and I drink out of a mug every day. So we have that cool stuff there that has the High School Never End logo. You can get to our shop via our hub, which is simply put, www.hsnepod.com.
Yep, right from there, you can find us on all the socials. We have a free Discord server. You can join and talk about shows and Real Big Fish and whatever you want. You can also support us on Patreon at patreon.com/HSNE pod for only $5 or $10. You get bonus content from us at The High School Never Ends podcast. We are The High School Never Ends podcast, and we just kicked your asses, Chris. We kicked the shit out of all their asses. Wasn't this great?
We certainly did.
Well, thank you guys for letting us kick the shit out of your asses. High School Never Ends Kills It Live is not done. We got one more for you next week. We're not going to tell you what it is. You'll see in 7 days. Until then, keep on rocking your dad bods, throw up your rock hands, and blast the pop punk.
It's Dragon Wagon.